Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me again on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. It's a midweek, should I say midweek service? The midweek episode of Deep Waters. And of course, you're tuned into Rhythm 93.7 FM and Silverbed TV. Yes, of course, you can also watch us on YouTube by searching for Silverbed N24, clicking on the live button to watch a show live. Guess what? You can also leave your comments on our YouTube stream, YouTube live streams. In case you don't want to call, but you want to, type something and tell me what your thoughts are on the topic of today. This is where we shake the waters on real life stories, on real life issues, deep issues, issues that have to do with us, you and I. We dive into deep, relatable matters. And of course, I want to remind you that Deep Waters is live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. on Mondays, and 5 to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. Today, we're talking about mentorship. The role of mentorship in life or career. Who is a mentor? I know usually I haven't heard a song today of a guy singing and say, hey, Davido is my mentor, Davido is my mentor, or something. I don't know how he sang the song, but it was just talking about how he wants to be like Davido, how he looks up to Davido, how Davido is a successful somebody that he wants to be like. A mentor is usually somebody who supports you, or who is somebody you want to be like. You want to look like them, you want to dress like them, you want to be like them, you want to be as successful as them. And usually for those people, mentors that are even closer to their mentees, they're usually advisors and supports, people who support the other person in order to grow in their personal life, grow in their spiritual life, grow in their careers. Usually you have spiritual mentors, you have career mentors, you have personal growth mentors, and the rest. We also have coaches. I think there might be a difference between having a coach and being a mentor. I think we'll clarify on that in a bit. But basically, a mentor is somebody who is looking out for your growth, basically in your career and in your personal and spiritual life altogether. We've all, having a mentor is very important, or we can't deny how important sometimes it is in our lives. Sometimes we wish we had somebody who would teach us, who would guide us, who would tell us, oh, do this, don't do this, this will be right, or who would just help us get to our destination even faster. You heard some of our old people saying, I wish I had a mentor and all of that. But in this new age, I don't know if youngsters are still looking for mentors today. With the advent of technology here and there, you can get as many informations, read about so many people, get a lot of stories. These are 21st century people, in the advent of digital, transformation and the rest of it. And mentorship, is it still very much relevant? I want to talk about this and more today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Are you a mentor, or do you have a mentor? Are you looking for a mentor? Are you a mentee? I believe that a mentee is somebody who is learning from the mentor. Are you looking for one? When does a mentor become a good mentor or a bad mentor? Does everyone need a mentor in their lifetime, in their career, in their spiritual life, in personal growth? Do we all need a mentor? Let me even share you a very short story of one time I was actually looking for somebody to guide me through my career, and this man happened to be a very, very important somebody, in the business space, in the business industry. And then he's one that even said, oh, I can mentor you, I can lead you, help you in your business world and stuff like that. The next thing, this man was trying to mentor me in other ways, and I'm like, okay, thank you so much for helping to guide me in the business, but you haven't even started guiding me in the business, but you also want to be mentoring other things. So we've seen situations where there is a relationship or some form of intimacy between a mentor and a mentee. So when does a mentor become good or bad? Let's talk about this and more. Calling on 0705 993 6937. or 0705 993 7937. Like me, have you had a mentor who wanted to mentor you in other ways? Have you experienced that before? I want to hear your thoughts today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. What are good mentors? How do we know when this mentor is actually looking out for you or just looking out for themselves? You have some mentors who say they want to guide you, but usually they just want to use you to get to where they are going to. Have you met a good one or a bad one before? I will even made a comment on my socials asking that, would you rather collect a huge sum of money or have a career mentorship? Would you rather choose a career mentorship, have somebody to guide you through your career to the success that you so desire, or if they offer you a huge sum of money, you will just take it and walk away? How important is mentorship to you in your career success and in your life? Calling on 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. Where are the mentees and mentors in the house? I want to hear your thoughts today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Who's your best mentor? You have somebody who you can't stop thinking that this person really impacted my life as a mentor? Or do you have a worst mentor where you're like, I regret having to listen or even obey this person at any point in my life? Let's take our first caller on today's show. Hello.
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 Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good to have you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, my name is KG.
Your name is what?
My name is KG. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I was just listening to your program, and I attended a program where they assigned a mentor to me, but I would say it's not really a good one because right after the program, I tried to reach out, ask questions, and he will just tell me that he doesn't have nothing to say. I just got tired and I'm always looking forward to having a mentor, but that particular one, when I first met him, was like prayer answered. But subsequently, he didn't just have anything to offer. It was more just for like a conference show, and that was also, I just had to like let go. Yeah.
Was it one person or was it like a group of people, an organization offering to mentor you?
It was one person.
Okay.
But he was invited via a program that I attended, and so he did nice. He really talked nice that day. But after that day, anytime I reach out to him, talk to him, ask him questions, it seemed like he really didn't have much for me, and I just got tired.
That's so sad. How did that make you feel though?
It makes me feel bad because I feel like if I'd had a nice person, maybe I would have been better off right now, because I've made so many mistakes in business, career-wise, and it was just something I was really looking forward to. But unfortunately, maybe that wasn't my person.
Wow, interesting. Well, what was the thing that made you, want him to be your mentor, and why do you think he was not, forthcoming?
Well, so the program I attended was about small business owners, entrepreneurs. Let's say you have an idea and you're trying to establish it. So it was brought on that program, and it was assigned to people who had similar dreams and sort of aspirations.
Yes.
So that was just how I was just really happy to listen. That thank God, because I've been making mistakes all along, and I'm like, hey.
So you think he probably just used you guys for content or something?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Or maybe he just had other things doing. I wouldn't say that.
That is
maybe
so sad though.
Just had other important stuff.
Oh, interesting. I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, hopefully, when we have our guest coach for today, he'll get to maybe advise you on how to, strike a good mentor and actually maintain a good relationship with them.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate. All right. I actually feel what she's feeling. I actually hear her. Actually, I hear you loud and clear. I think I've also been in that situation before where I was young. I remember when a younger me wanted to be a host, a TV host. I would just message random people online that I see they're doing better than me. They've gone far in it. Please, could you support me? Could you help me? Could you mentor me? And they will just read your message and just ignore it. I know those people are random people. Maybe they are not mentors, or they didn't sign up to mentor you. But compared to this situation where you actually bring a group of young people together and say, okay, this conference, we want to use it to build you guys. And then after the conference, you have people who are actually deliberately following up, to be part of your mentees, and then boom, you have disappeared. Like you said, she said she feels like maybe you didn't use for content, but me, from my perspective, I'm like, oh, that's purely for content. Because why do you go about, trying to, get these people, and then you have one really interested, but you're not paying attention because you're busy doing other stuff. So maybe you are not really looking for mentees, maybe you are just looking for content. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Like I said, we have good and bad mentors, and we're going to be exposing all that and more today. Have you had a mentor before? Are you a mentee? What qualities do you look out for when you're getting a mentor, when you're deciding if of a mentor? Have you had a mentor who was, throwing jabs at you, to intimately, to get intimate with you, like in my situation? What are your thoughts on that? Let's talk about this and more. I also asked that if you were to collect a huge sum of money, or have a mentor, somebody mentor you career wise, would you just take the money and walk, or do you need that guidance, do you need that help, do you need that support in your career? I also asked that with the advent of technology, is mentoring still needed? These days you're trying to get people to mentor you, they are not available, then you go online and start watching stuff, reading stuff, and before you know, you have some form of online mentor, and sometimes we're not even sure, these online mentors, you're not even sure if, some of them, what they say is not who they are. I know that can be anybody, but you've heard of people online where you say, oh, this guy is a good relationship mentor, I want my marriage to be like his own. Then later, like maybe 1 or 2 years after, you discover that this guy was living a lie. Like all the things he was saying and preaching about, he was doing the opposite in the closet. And that is really, really sad. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're talking about mentorship, and we're asking, what is the role of mentorship in life or career? How important is it? How bad do you want to be mentored, in this time and age? How important is it in your career? Do you always wish that you have somebody to guide you in your life, in your career, and more? Let's hear your thoughts. I have a few minutes to wrap up this first segment before I bring my special guest on the show. So if you have thoughts and questions, opinions, first-hand experiences, please do also calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. I also wanted to ask about, what are your thoughts on people who request for money or to mentor people? Some people, you tell them, please mentor me now. Before you know, they'll start asking you for money. They need money. Or if you have some organization, I know those are the mentoring organizations, and I know that it's not easy these days, but what do you think about that? Let's take another caller. Hello. Hi, good to have you on the show. Thanks for calling. Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Charles, and I'm calling from VGC.
Okay, Charles, good to have you. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, so I heard you guys were talking about like the importance of mentors and stuff like that.
Yes, please.
The lady who called before I did, she was saying she had a mentor, but it seems the mentor didn't have by that time. I don't know if that was what she said, but
yeah, that's what she sounded like.
Yes. So one thing I realized is in my career, I tried to mentor a couple of people, but I realized that some of these people, they usually don't have like a focus of what they want. So it's actually hard to, sometimes be able to figure out what they actually want from you. So they understand that you may be in a good position to guide them. However, they still haven't figured out why they want you to mentor them. And in that case, if you're a person, you have like 4 or 5 people like that, it's kind of hard keeping up. So I would suggest that if someone is going after a mentor, they should be very intentional about what they want from that person, and probably like come up with a schedule, because most mentors are really busy. So if you can be very direct, tell the person what you want from them, and probably like be able to come up with a schedule so that the person will also be able to fit you into their schedule. I think that would help and go a long way.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But don't you think that the mentor can also help them, focus on something, help them figure out what they need to focus on?
Yeah, that's true, but you should understand that the person who needs something needs to do some homework as well, right? So, yeah, in a situation where someone really needs something, then they need to do that little research and be able to, like, at least understand why they want someone to guide them.
Yes.
I mean, if not, think about meeting somebody like Dangote. You have 30 minutes to prove to him that
Definitely.
you really want him to be your mentor, and you really don't know what you want from him. You will definitely, you probably miss your spot or your
True.
chance.
He'll probably not even answer yourself. You probably not have your time.
Exactly.
Because he's operating on another level.
Most of these guys are very busy. You have to already know what you want.
That
and
makes
have done
sense.
some kind of homework before you approach them.
All right, Charles, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. All right, I love to hear from mentees and mentors. That was such a nice conversation. Thank you so much, Charles. So, clarifying that from Charles. Charles says that mentees need to know exactly what they want, and I feel like you have a point there. Imagine somebody who has not figured out what they want to do in business telling Dangote, no matter how much money you have, telling Dangote that I need to mentor you. You probably not even have your time, or probably not pay attention to you as much as possible, except maybe your father is somebody's father and then he just has to, or something like that. But that really, really makes sense. But it's not easy, Sha. Figuring out what you want, trying to focus, doing your homework, all these things are really personal work for personal growth. So in order for you to find that mentor that would help you focus, help you find it, then mentor you on it, it definitely must be God sent. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We're talking about mentorship, the role of mentoring in life and career. And I'm asking, are you a mentor or a mentee? What are your thoughts on having a mentor in your career? I also compared the advent of access to technology and information these days. Does that replace the role of mentorship? Who's your best mentor? Have you had one that I feel like I remember one in my secondary school, and this man, he was my teacher, my math teacher in class, and I think he just took special interest in me. I don't know why, but he took special interest in me. He would just guide me through classwork, guide me through spiritual stuff, just set me on the right path for some reason, and there was a good connection between us. But immediately I just finished my secondary school. That was the end of it. Although he tried to keep in touch, but me, as when they just release you from secondary school, it's like they release you from prison. You just want to go and explore and stuff like that. I think that just created some form of distance. Plus, I moved out of that location, and that created some form of distance between us. But guess what? Sometimes, maybe like once or twice a year, he still calls me to find out, how are you? How are you doing? How is your work? How is your career? How is your spiritual life? I think that is a good mentor right there. But, do you have any good or bad mentors? Worst or best mentors? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. Oh my dear, I would have even asked Charles, what do you think about mentors that like to be paid, paid mentors, or mentors that require payments to mentor people that require payment to mentor other people? I wanted to know your thoughts on that. I would love to. Should mentors request for payments? I understand if the mentorship organization is a business. I understand that. But for someone who you've taken interest in and say, I want to be like this person, if you walk up to them and you're requiring payment, are they good mentors or bad mentors then? Anyways, this is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. Let's go on a very short break. When I get back, we'll talk more on mentorship, the role of mentorship in life and career. And guess what? I have a special guest with me, somebody with executive knowledge, with in-depth knowledge on the topic of the day. He would help us and guide us on how to find a mentor and how to keep a mentor. Finding one is not even the problem. It's keeping them. That's where the work begins. Gentlemen, this is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. And indeed, so far we've been talking about mentorship, the role of mentorship in life and career. And earlier on, I took some of your calls. I actually had the opportunity to speak to a mentee and a mentor. That was absolutely so cool because, mentee is saying, oh, I found a mentor and the mentor does not want to mentor me. The mentor was not mentoring. Mentor say, oh, it's okay for mentee to walk up to me, but you need to know what you want I cannot come and start teaching you A, B, and C. Know your A, B, and C first, then I will now mentor you. Who is now right now? Is it the mentor? Is it the mentor or the mentee? This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. We are talking about the role of mentoring in life and career. If you have thoughts and questions, opinions, first-hand experiences, please do also join in on the show. Calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. I also asked a quick question. I said, if you were to, if somebody is offering you a huge amount of money or versus mentorship, career mentorship, would you take the money or would you say, oh, just mentor me in my career? Of course, I did this poll on my social media and it was like a 50-50 situation. Some people say I would take the money. Some people say I would, take the mentorship. But make I no lie, me, I will take the. I will take the. Let me use my mouth to say everything before you say, Deborah, you are the host of this show. You are supposed to be a mentor to us. I'm a mentor. I'm also a mentee. Don't forget that. Anyways, I have a special guest with me in the studio. They call him the top performer. I like that name. Oh, Wale, the top performer. When you wear that kind of name, you know that, this is powers. You know that powers is here. He's a highly sought after motivational speaker, management trainer, and corporate compare. And through this Top Performance Academy, he implements executive management trainings, coachings, and human capacity interventions for clients in all walks of life. He leads the top performance community, a diverse, multinational, and multi-ethnic community of business leaders and change makers with interest in building, support, and creating value for enterprise. He is a recipient of numerous awards, including the New Africa 100 Young Exceptional Africans recognition in 2022. He is the author of the book, Now That's Business. And now that's business right on this show. A book that provides practical walkthroughs on brand positioning and selling strategy for emerging entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me in the studio executive life coach, personal development, and workplace productivity trainer, aka the top performer, aka Mo Oladapo. Hi.
Hi, Debbie. Thank
The
you for
top
having me.
performer.
That's me.
Powers.
People.
So good to have you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
I mean,
you.
for joining us in the studio.
Thank
I'm
you
used
for
to
having
saying
me.
calling in.
Oh,
For
yeah.
being with
Yeah.
us right here in the studio. So now let's get right into the top. Let's just jump into this deep waters. Thankfully, we
let's
have
dive
you.
in.
Yeah, let's get right into it. How do we define mentorship? I've tried in my own way to, explain it in my layman's language. But what really, to somebody who has never heard about the word before, what is mentorship and why is it so important for us to have mentors?
Thank you for that question. First of all, let's try to attempt the definition of mentorship. So, I will define that as a system that allows a person to help another person to become all that they need to be. So either it's in career, whatever sphere, whatever they need to be, it's a system that allows you to be accountable to somebody and to help you to become whatever you need to be. So it's a very powerful system, and we see it work in the workplace, in relationship, in business, in whatever field that you find yourself. And so it takes two people to be in that system. One is the mentor, and of course, the person who is receiving is the mentee. So you submit yourself to that system where you are accountable to this person, and this person, with his experience or her experience, help you to become who you need to be. Not just what you want to be, but who you need to be. So the reason why it's important, because a lot of the times while growing up and evolving, we are taken away by so many trends and so many distractions. And mentorship helps you to truly clarify what's important, and help you to attain the highest height.
But how sorry to cut you there, but how does somebody who didn't grow up with me, who didn't know my background, or who doesn't even know me that much? I mean, yes, mentors strive to know, but you didn't experience all of that with me. You don't even know my hidden traumas. You don't know you might know what I want to do, but you might not even know my greater purpose and all of
Exactly.
that. But how does that person now know what I need to be?
How do they know? Because there will be a relationship. So it's a system that also makes for a relationship. And in a relationship, there's communication. So the mentor, of course, like you said, he will strive to know. But what is more important is where you are going, not where you've been. And so the mentor understands where you're coming from, but his target is to push you beyond that to where you need to be. So he's more focused on the future rather than just the past. But however, there's a firm that's mentorship is an active relationship. You can't just assume mentorship. You can't assume somebody's your mentor. They need to know you. You can't. It's not something you just
So
confirm.
all those the window is my mentor,
I mean,
whiskey is my
all
mentor.
those are just. I mean, let me use the term that is very common. It's called audio mentor. We all know it's not true. Yeah.
Wow.
Those who I will say, let's put it in world context. Those people are your role models. So role models, most of the time, you don't need to have any physical relationship with them, or they don't need to know you. You just get inspired by them and try to pattern your life after them. That's not mentorship. Mentorship is an active relationship.
Interesting mentorship. So do you get to have any mentors? Do you have mentors presently or
I do.
growing up?
Oh, I do.
You have mentors?
I do. I have mentors, yes.
A whole top performer has a mentor.
Every mentor must have a mentor. Every coach must have a coach. One of the red flags in these types of relationships is if these people who you see their mentors don't have a mentor, then there's a red flag. There's a problem.
Really?
Yes, you must
Why?
have a mentor. Because only someone who has been truly and thoroughly mentored can mentor another person.
Really?
Yes. Except, I mean, you have seen scenarios where if a father would ask his friend to help train up his child. That's why, because the father understands that he is deficient in some level of discipline, but his friend can. So he will ask his friend to actively mentor his son. So a real mentor is someone who has also experienced mentorship.
Wow.
You can't give what you don't have. It's a love life.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, right there. That's why we might have good or bad mentors.
Yes, because some people some people may have had mentors, but they didn't really apply themselves to that relationship, and they thought they knew more than their mentors, and
Well, what are the qualities to look out for? When is it attracting now? Or should you go looking out for a mentor? Or should you attract one?
Yes, you need to look out for a mentor. One of the very attractive features of a mentor is that, number one, they have the experience. Experience is the key. That's one of the distinguishing factors for mentorship. If they don't have the experience, they can't mentor you. So mentorship revolves around a very deep and rich experience. I can't take you to where I've not been. That's the whole selling point of mentorship. My experience can help you. So I would guide you to where I have been, where I've passed through. And so experience is number one. Number two, success is a very, very attractive feature of mentorship. If you have been through something and you didn't succeed, it's most likely that what you will be passing down to people will just be lessons and truly not principles and values. Lessons on how you didn't make it. So it's very important that as a mentor, there's a degree to success that you must have achieved in that experience that you can pass on to people. So experience, success. Also, I think the third powerful quality about mentoring is maturity. An immature person can mentor you.
What do you mean mature? Age?
No. So it's not really about age. Age is an advantage, but sometimes it's not really about age.
But you keep saying something about the person has to know experience. Experience comes with age.
You can experience so much in a very young age. You could be 25 and you have done something that somebody who is 35 hasn't done. And he said, listen, I need you to mentor me. And I can mentor you because I've been through that route before. I mean, there are many people who that are older than Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg will mentor you because he has gone through the entrepreneurial journey.
He will definitely mentor
He will definitely mentor you.
Mac. Hey, Mac. Shout out to you, Mac.
Yeah, so maybe it's not about age. Age is something that could also make people revert to you and reverence you, but it's not about age. It's about, do you have the experience? Have you done it before? What can you teach? Somebody who's coming into that space as well.
So what differentiates a good mentor from a bad mentor?
So let's just flip it. So if I mentioned experience,
yes.
Lack of experience. Success, no track record of success. Maturity, immaturity. Basically those three. And then I think maybe probably I'll add one more, which it should be in mentorship, the fact that you are unable to So how do I put it? For a mentor, his primary goal isn't to make you to become who he is or help you to achieve what you have achieved. His goal is to help you to achieve even beyond what he has been able to achieve. So a good mentor should be able to see you beyond where he is and not to be jealous when you start, going beyond the ceiling he couldn't go to.
But he's human after all.
He's human after all, but that's where the maturity comes in. That's where you know a good mentor. He's comfortable with your success being more than his.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's powerful, yes.
That's powerful.
So if you can't swallow that, your mentee might be richer, greater, more popular than you, you shouldn't be mentoring people because you're going to get jealous.
Interesting. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. I still have with me in the studio Mo Oladapo, the top performer, executive life coach, personal development and workplace productivity trainer, helping us dive deeper on the topic of the day, mentorship, the role of mentoring in life and career. Do you have a mentor? Are you looking for a mentor? Do you need a mentor? Does everyone need a mentor? Have you had a first-hand experience where with mentors or mentees? Do you have a personal experience with that? Will you take a huge sum of money or would you just take a career mentor to help you through your career? Let me hear your thoughts on this topic. If you have questions regarding mentorship, please do also calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. So, Mr. Mo, is it possible to go through life without having a mentor? Does everyone need a mentor?
Everyone needs a mentor. Unfortunately, not everyone gets the opportunity to be actively mentored.
Okay.
And there are many people who go through life and they still come out well. But of course, you would always see that gap between them and someone who had access to a mentor. It would always be clear.
Gap in terms of?
Because a mentor helps to shorten your journey to success. So something that could have taken 10 years, you could succeed in 4. Why? Because you are leveraging on experience, you are leveraging on resources, you are leveraging on network that is beyond you, that solely comes from a mentor. A mentor helps you to access doors and opportunities that ordinarily with your qualification experience you are not ripe for. And because the mentor is doing his job, and so you will be able to tell the difference that some persons moves faster than other people. I mean we are living in a time where you are seeing some people in 3 years. Why? They have people mentoring them. You can sit in the comedy industry. You can sit in the movie industry. The moment you attach yourself to a mentor, the mentor has a duty to use his experience, his network, and resources to make you achieve success faster than you could have achieved it on your own.
I imagine that having a mentor requires some form of humility on your part.
Oh, definitely.
What are your thoughts on people who are not humble enough to be guided?
Definitely. Like I said in the beginning, it's a system, and that system requires things from the mentor and the mentee. One of the things it requires from you is total humility. You cannot come into a mentorship relationship with what you know. Yes, what you know is good, but once you've accepted to be mentored, you must be humble enough. Don't get or take mentorship or surrender to a mentorship from someone who ordinarily you don't see yourself respecting. You don't respect them in any regard. That person can't mentor you. That mentorship will not work. Naturally, you must be able to respect the person. He must be a person that commands your respect, first of all. And then 2, you must know that your mentor would always get you into a position where you either have to take his word for it or go out the door. And that requires you to really be humble, to say, yes, I know it, but I will go with your advice. I will go with what you're saying.
Wow. Well, I mean, that might be very hard in this kind of situation we found ourselves in with the excess of information and technology out there. What impact do you think technology has on mentorship? Because these days you can access so much information. You even have, online mentors, that you trust. You have thousands and thousands of documents and people and access to things these days. Does that replace mentorship?
Oh, I mean, it will not. It would help. It will be an advantage, but there's something that you cannot. Technology, AI will never replace, and it's called gut feeling by experience. There's no AI that can help you with gut feeling, and the mentor has.
But AI doesn't make mistakes, though.
Oh, really?
Does it?
I mean, AI will give you what you want. AI will not give you what you need. AI will give you what if I want to do chat GPT and I put some prompt, it will give me what I want. But what you need comes from gut feeling. It comes from experience, and only humans have that. And so, time immemorial, you're going to see people who are mentors that can never be replaced with technology. Yes, go and do research. You'll still have to come back to somebody who knows the road.
Do you think there's shortage of mentors or mentees these days? I mean, mentees in terms of people who want to actually learn because they, like you say, they are bugaing because information day. And mentors who actually want to teach because everybody's so busy out there making money.
I would say there's such shortage of both. Shortage of both because in the same vein, we don't have many people who truly understand what mentorship is. Many of them, they're looking for sponsors. Sponsors is a different thing from mentors.
We should not lie, we need sponsors.
A mentor can sponsor you, but at his discretion. He's not obligated to sponsor you. Only when he sees the need to. So when you come and then you ask him for different things, the mentor will just switch that relationship to sponsorship, and he will give you sponsorship, but you will never get mentorship. Yeah, so I know many mentors who will never give you money, but the access and the opportunities they give you will give you the kind of money that you've never seen before, because that's what they're supposed to do. So right,
guys. So what are your thoughts on sponsors and mentors? Would you rather a sponsor or a mentor? Sponsor looks very attractive. Make I not even lie.
But I mean, you know, there are different kind of sponsors. So there could be sponsors that represent you. So in the career field, you have people who can sponsor you. So they are top level executive, and so when they're making decisions about mid-level executive or newbies, they are top. I say, listen, that guy can fit that role. I'm sponsoring him. I'm standing for him. So they can sponsor you in that regard. But when it comes to sponsor in terms of money and all of that, I think if you are truly looking for a mentor, that should never be your goal, to take money from your mentor, except on very, 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 very situations where you couldn't help it and they were the only option that you could, ask for help. But you always try to avoid.
So if they offer it to you, mentor,
if your mentor's offer, oh yes, definitely.
Take it, Abby.
Definitely.
Take it.
Definitely.
Take it.
Definitely. Definitely.
That makes a lot of sense. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. I'm still taking calls and questions from you. I know you're listening actively, yes, but Mo Oladapo, our executive coach, is here to also answer your questions. If you have personal questions, like we say, if you ask AI cannot answer some things. Yeah. So you better calling now if you have thoughts and questions, and let's hear it and get it from somebody with experience and gut feeling.
Like you may ask AI, who should I marry? AI will just tell you what you want to hear, but only a mentor.
But you two cannot answer me who should I marry now.
If I have the experience, I could give you guides.
AI too give me guides now.
Well.
Maybe not personalized.
Maybe not personalized, but still yet, I would always go with a human experience more than AI's proficiency.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I mean, AI is not human.
In those types of...
Thinking about it, AI is not human. Doesn't even know what it means to be human. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, calling on 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. I have a few more minutes to wrap up the show, so if you have thoughts or questions, please do calling. What are your thoughts on mentors, intimate relationship between mentors and mentees? Or
what kind of...
sometimes it does not start off like that. It's like people will just start your mentorship and then maybe in one of your classes, why are you looking at me?
I'm trying to understand.
In one of your classes, something that happened or
romantic relationship.
Yes.
That is going past the boundary of what the system should be able to accommodate. But then I've heard about things like where someone fell off with a mentor and then and they started, and it could work away. But if that was the goal initially, trust me, the mentorship won't work. It will quickly evolve into romance. It will quickly, because there was that. Well, if the goal was for mentorship, I mean, nobody can decide what happens, but it's out of the boundary. It shouldn't be something that you should be considering at the beginning of mentorship. Except you've always liked the person and you want that you use mentorship. Use mentorship. I mean, yes, some people's spouses are their mentors. So I mean, let's be honest and let's be fair.
And you think that works?
Well, I think
Can people separate intimacy and mentorship?
oh, there are people who truly like women who truly regard their spouses as their mentor. They listen to them, and sometimes I think it works. That kind of relationship works. I mean, of course, the man knows when to drop the mentor part and of course be a husband. But yes,
I don't mind having a mentor husband.
yeah, because
somebody with all that.
because then you will truly trust every word he says.
Yeah.
You will trust he has your best interest at heart. Yeah. So
And the fact that they're experienced, that they're the protector,
Exactly.
it just gives that edge.
exactly. So it's an added advantage.
Definitely. It's men now, if you're looking
Yeah.
for, what
No,
to do.
every man should strive to be a mentor to the person you are dating. Yes,
Wow.
she might have a mentor, but let her see you as yes. If every other mentor fails, this guy can't fail. I trust his word. I trust his experience. That's what makes her look up to you.
Is there any such thing as long distance mentorship?
Yes, there could be. I mean, of course, we have people who have that system virtual, and so you have sessions with your mentor. You speak on phone. Yeah, so it must not be physical. It must not be physical. Stuff. It could be virtual. Yes, but the most important thing that there is an active relationship where two people know that they are in, and they give it what it takes.
Yes.
Don't assume. You can't assume that because somebody likes you and advises you once in a while is your mentor. That's advisory. Mentorship is not advisory. Mentorship is not coaching. Mentorship is not consulting. Mentorship is not sponsorship. Mentorship is not there are so many in that same spectrum. Mentorship is different because it has its own different methodology. It has a
That's
methodology.
deep, because all those things you mentioned are like mentorship.
They have that's similar. The lines that distinguish them is very blurry, but you need to understand that it's different. It's different. Mentorship is even more dangerous than the others because sometimes, and most of the time, mentorship has no financial implication. So people take you on to mentor you. You're not paying. So you better apply yourself to that because it's in other words, they are leading you in life. So it's like another father, another mother, right? You don't hurt your mentors. I could pay a coach. When they are done, coach, bye. But somebody says they're your mentors, it's usually lifelong.
Wow.
It's usually lifelong.
That's really, really deep.
It's deep.
Well, what about mentors that's, paid mentors?
Yeah, so
Does that make them bad mentors?
No. So again, there's a system. Mentors could create a system to qualify for access. You need to qualify people for access. You need to qualify who truly is hungry for mentorship. And so they may have programs where you need to pay to get in. But you see, that relationship is not monetized. The relationship after that program is never monetized. It's something that, the mentor is willing to be a part of your success journey. But to qualify for access, you may have to pay for their program, buy their books. But after a while, once that is done, that relationship, mentor-mentee relationship, is never to be monetized. It's usually not monetized. Look at any great mentor. You will never say, I pay him monthly. No. You only pay for his cost when you were getting to know him. But then they take you on and truly want to see you succeed. They truly want to see you succeed.
Oh, that's really, really in-depth. So now, how do we find the mentor? Let's say I'm so interested in someone leading me in my career now. How do I go about it? How do I, when I have a couple of, how do I choose? And what if the mentor does not want to mentor me?
Okay, so very good. So two of the disciplines are pretty closely related is mentorship and coaching. While you may look for a coach, I mean, there are websites you can look for a coach and you engage a coach and they will mostly accept because it's a business relationship to help you to achieve your goal. A mentor, you look for a mentor, you see someone you really like, and the mentor truly has to accept if they really want you. So the mentor has the first right of acceptance or to decline. They have that part to say, I really want to mentor you. Because, but as a coach, because it's a business relationship, you take the money and then you help the client and then you move on. For a mentor, it has to be a connection. The same way you found him and you connected with him, he has to look at you and be connected to you. And for that to happen, there are certain things you need to do to truly win his heart or her heart.
Which are
humility. Number 2, service. In coaching, I don't need to serve my coach. I pay my coach to help me succeed. In mentorship, I need to serve my mentor.
What do you mean serve?
So when I say serve, not in the context of servitude, in the context of find something that your mentor truly wants to achieve or do, or is having a hard time or a gap with whatever it does, and say, you see, can I help you with this? Okay, so in the workplace, the man, one of your top executives, you want him to mentor you, also comes out from the car, and you always see that he has troubles in getting his coffee early in the mornings. He has to wait. I say, sir, your coffee's ready. Oh, how do you know? Like, oh, I've been watching for a long time, and I found out that every time you get to the office, you're always shouting at the secretary to get your coffee, and it takes a lot of time. And I see that you are always on, you are not comfortable. So I decided to always make sure I buy you coffee every time I come. So wow, you see what you just did now? You just won his heart. He's going to be looking after you. He's going to be looking out for you because you looked at something. So mentorship is you are giving it to your mentor. Coaching, I don't need to give my coach anything. For a mentor, you give and you take because it's a system. Two people must play their part. So you are also being of value to your mentor.
That was really, really deep. My head is spinning right now. Oh my God. That was really, really, really deep. Anyways, thank you so much for sharing that. Finding a mentor, keeping a mentor, because I imagine if it's a relationship of give and take, it will definitely last long. Right. I'll take just one single call before we end the show. Hello. 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 I really wanted to take one call, but I guess we have to lose that. Anyways, thank you so much for sharing that.
My pleasure.
Finding a mentor, keeping a mentor, the qualities of discovering a mentor, knowing the difference between a bad and a good mentor. That was a masterclass. Thank you so much, Mo Oladapo, Executive Life Coach. How can people find you on social media in case they want you to be their mentors? Because I really want you to be my mentor now with everything I've heard. How can people find you on socials?
Also, on all social media platforms at Mo Oladapo. That's M-O Oladapo. So just find me. Just once you click it, you cannot miss the face. It's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. M Oladapo.
You definitely cannot miss the face. I'll definitely be bringing you coffee, right? Is it coffee? How do you like your coffee, sir?
Yeah, with some milk in it.
With some milk in it. Noted. That's how I'm going to bring it to you on Monday morning. Thank you so much for coming on the show and for sharing your wealth of experience with us. This has been Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and I would leave you with this very, very short quote. I call it the deep quote of the day. And it says, a closed mouth never gets fed. So I would suggest to start by asking. A closed mouth never gets fed. So I would suggest to start by asking. That was by Dolly Singh. That's our deep quote of the day. To all my callers. Now, this is the time people want to call. I've been begging you to call since you did not call. The acceptance now, your head is spinning. Now you want to call. You can now go to his DM. Transfer these calls to his DM now at Mo Oladapo. Or come to us at deepwaters_podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram for you to, catch this content, of course. We have it uploaded on YouTube so you can have a rewatch. And we also do repeats on Silverbird TV, DSTV 252. So yes, stay tuned to that so that you can catch a repeat of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. And for myself and the top performer, we'll see. Bye-bye.
Bye.